to Modern Art Blitz. I'm your host, Matt Gleason. My guest, Alyson Souza. They're all like, hey, look over here. Let's get into it. You've been showing in and around Southern California for many, many years. This piece kind of goes way back, right?
This goes way back. I brought sort of, things that were representative of different times
different
in
eras?
my career.
Okay.
And this was a series I did about, I finished them in around 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
we're going way back.
Yeah, so I did about 20 of these heads.
And they're made out of?
They're made out of wood, and they're all kind of staggered in space, so
Now,
they're about 7 inches thick.
I love your website. We usually do the plug at the end, but what is your website? Your URL?
Paintwood.com.
Paintwood.com. Okay, so here we have, is that a Gibson girl?
No, but it's a woman from a catalog.
Oh, from a catalog.
I used to
the
paint a lot
eras.
of portraits, and people got really concerned with, who is the person that I'm painting, but I wasn't painting the person, I was painting my friends, but I was painting sort of the state of being human. So I started using, old Renaissance paintings to use their heads, and then I started using prints from magazines, and just to try to remove the actual personality from the person.
Get it out there and have it be an archetype more.
Right.
So, again, this is 2000, and how big is this?
This is they're about this big.
Oh, okay.
They're about 7 inches deep, and they're all sort of thoughts that I've had in my head, or sort of the middle of a story, not the beginning and not the end, but often trying to work through solving problems. So for this one, it was, wouldn't it be really neat if you had an off and on switch in various places on your brain, so that you could just shut this off because that's really annoying and unhelpful, and turn this part on because it's never on, and it would be really good if it was.
Where's that smart switch? It's gone. It's gone. Okay.
A lot of them had sort of mechanical fixes to our bodies.
A mechanical fix to our body. Where's that common sense switch?
Right.
We need more of it. So now, after this, you have more. We have We Move On. From 2000, what's coming next here?
So, right.
Oh.
Okay.
And this is even deeper wood construction.
Yeah.
Here.
So this is a box. I should have actually brought the picture that they all close and they lock up. But these all had mechanical pieces inside them. So I took apart those Chinese. The Chinese kitties that wave. Yeah. I took them apart with a Dremel tool, and I took the electromagnet out, and I used those all in meters inside the pieces. And so this one is called Fib.
Fib.
And we're all taught that it's not a good thing to lie.
So this is a lie detector, basically.
Well,
Does it really work?
Yeah, sure.
Sucker. And where did you show this?
I showed that at La Luz de Jesus.
La Luz de Jesus.
And the previous group of work was all at Robert Berman.
At Robert Berman?
Yeah.
Wow, another Robert Berman discovery.
Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah.
We have him to thank for so much.
Right.
So you're at La Luz. What year is this?
2006, 2007 maybe.
Where did your obsession with the mechanical stuff come from?
I love hardware stores. I could just look at stuff in hardware stores for forever. I like repetitive things, and just all the screws are so beautiful and shiny. And my husband works on cars, so there's a lot of car parts around, and those are beautiful. And I like to paint, but I like to build as much as I like to paint. So they're sort of. So the actual construction is as much of your art process as. So when I've been building for a long time, I sort of get the urge to paint, and then
after you paint it for a long time,
then I'm like,
I'm sick of this. Time to
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some artists that's like they like art music, but yours like art construction painting, construction painting.
Yeah, and I get worried when I've been making things that are too construction. I'm like, I got to get back to painting. I'm gonna. So.
But the idea of doing a flat painted surface, watercolor or oil, it's got to have some construct to it.
No, actually, I've done plenty that
You've done plenty just straight paintings.
Yep.
Have you ever done straight constructions? Well, like your house.
Yeah, right.
Renovating your house was probably.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let's move on. We've got some great art to look at. Is there? Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So this is one where it's just paint, and that was done during the second Bush administration.
The second Bush administration.
Yes, so I was really upset about things because I had no idea that it was going to get worse.
Yeah, who knew it would ever look so good?
I was upset about the same things I'm upset about now, and I was upset that they were using religion to basically mask, doing terrible things to poor people, and that poor people were kind of buying it and being screwed worse than everybody else.
That's always the head scratcher.
Right?
Yeah.
Just the hypocrisy was just making me ill, and now I guess.
So is the lizard a metaphor for power?
Generally, politicians are not people you want to look at. So I like patterns. So part of it was that I wanted to find things that I like painting, and I like painting feathers and patterns and things and scales. So it would be a fun thing to paint, but also I could use that as the entity, whoever it was. And you'd still want to look at it.
But we've gone we've already seen okay, you've got a human girl, you've got this abstract thing in this construct that involves mechanics, and here we have just this almost a fantasy scene, but it's got the remnants of the natural world. It's a broad range.
Right.
You're not closed off to any mode of expression.
Not really.
No,
just as oil paint and wood. Whatever I can make out of oil paint and wood.
No acrylic?
No.
No. Oh, I love it. I love a purist. I love it.
No.
Oh yeah, acrylic. It doesn't matter. Oh, that look of revulsion.
No.
I'm gonna have to slow motion that one. We're gonna have to have an instant, Modern Art Blitz, the Modern Art Blitz sports report with the replay. We have a slow motion replay. He said the word acrylic like that. That was. I hope we got a good close up of you there.
It's
yeah,
true.
That's
and also oil paint smells so good.
The smell.
It smells good. It lasts over time.
Oh yeah,
we know it lasts really well.
Yeah. It's like a time machine.
Yep, it's fine with heat, and acrylic is plastic.
Hey,
I only use natural stuff. I use metal and wood.
We know a Rembrandt on wood lasts a couple hundred years, so you're kind of guaranteeing
proven.
yourself of that, yeah.
So,
just watch out where you put the turpentine, though, right? You got to be careful with all the materials.
Use much,
right?
There's people always say that it's toxic, and I use linseed oil to clean up. I use linseed oil to thin the paint because I actually use really thick paint strokes. It's not.
And is linseed oil all natural?
Sure.
Could you drink it?
No.
I don't recommend that, kids.
No, and you can't eat paint. So
you can't eat paint. Is there lead in the paint still?
Sure.
There is? Oh,
yeah,
geez.
lead white.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the good colors are toxic.
Okay. Well, you don't have to worry about the EPA regulating it.
Right.
Aren't you excited? Whew. Okay, so let's move on because I know you brought more art.
I do have.
I'm looking over at the screen. That's why I'm looking this. I
Right.
know it's behind me, but it's really on the green. Okay. So wow, is this new?
No, this is not new. This is let me see. This is probably 6 years old, maybe.
Okay.
No, it's probably 7 years old because what happened was, and you brought up the house earlier, is that we bought a house when the market crashed.
Oh.
And why that is relevant is because it was a house that was completely trashed, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
husband and I rebuilt it completely ourselves.
Basically, it's like you built a house.
It's like we built a house.
You bought a house to build a house. Yes.
So I had no business making art because I had no studio and I had no kitchen and I had no running water. So I took 4 years off, and I'd never done that before. I'd never not painted ever.
Ooh.
I mean, hardly a week has ever gone by that I didn't paint.
Wow.
But it was actually one of the coolest things that I ever did because, and I was really worried about it at the time, but after I came back, I felt like I was looking at things completely differently. Like I had a completely different perspective, and whereas before I think my art was more like the sort of Persian rug school of painting, which is more is more, more patterns, and which I dig, but more patterns and more typefaces and more people and more stuff. Here I just thought, I want to talk about some of the same things, but I want to talk about it with less stuff.
A leaner language,
Yeah.
so to speak?
So I wanted to do maybe 3 or 4 elements, still with, patterns, still with, I've got rope in there and feathers and maps, but less stuff. And I really was really happy with that challenge.
Nice. Now, how long have you been in Los Angeles?
I got here at the end of '98.
Wow.
And then had my first show with
That's
Robert in 2000.
Almost 20 years. You're gonna have your 20-year anniversary.
I know.
Are you an Angelino now?
Totally.
Totally. Oh, totally.
I was such a New Yorker too,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I can't even. I didn't want to move here.
No.
You know, I of course, because my idea of Los Angeles is what New Yorkers' idea of Los
And
Angeles
it's the
is.
wrong idea.
It's totally wrong.
Good.
There is so much soul here. It's
Good.
great.
I almost kicked her.
Total
I almost
pop.
kicked, like New Yorkers, you almost get kicked off my show, but
No.
you're not a New Yorker.
Such a
You're an
comfort.
Angelino.
Yeah.
So, so you live in the mid-city of, you know, it's, now, you've been here 20 years. What changes have you seen?
Well, I'm near downtown, and downtown's totally different.
Completely.
I mean, it was a ghost town when I first moved here, and now there's so much going on. I was surprised that there was such a good art scene when I got here because of course, coming from New York, we heard that you don't have art here.
Yep.
Right. So.
And it's only gotten better?
It's only gotten better.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
I
Galleries,
agree. I just like to hear, you know, I like to have it validated, you know, just a little validation here, folks. So, well, let's move on and see what, I think we have one more.
I think we do,
Do we have one more artwork? Do we have one more artwork?
Yep, we do. So this,
oh man. And you know, I gotta say, I've hung this painting, I've curated this painting in the show, and I don't believe the reproduction we're looking at does it quite justice. The cabbage that you painted is so fucking real. People think it's like that you blew, people asked if you took leaf by leaf photographs and blew them up and actually installed them, and they couldn't believe the Trump loyal effect. I mean, it's a pretty amazing painting. I can't say that your reproduction here does it as the justice.
I'm not a photographer.
No. No, but tell us about what's going on here.
Well, this is just about perspective. I mean, a lot of my pieces are about trying to balance things, and this is sort of balancing. You know, you think about what you're trying to deal with every day, and then you look at all the other people around you, and you think all of those people are trying to deal with all their shit too. And then you think, well, everybody in the city has all this stuff, and you just start getting bigger and bigger, and you think, well, wow, you get to the point where, well, my shit doesn't even matter, actually, in the whole scheme of things. Well, then you're looking at things too big. So this painting is about just trying to be in a place where you're looking at things not too far away and not too close. You know, a lot of things you can let go, they're not that big a deal, and then other things, you know, the minutia actually is important.
You gotta love it. What a great perspective.
So.
Alyson Souza, thanks for joining us on Modern Art Blitz. Alyson's gonna have a show at my gallery, Coagula Curatorial. Yes, this is a total conflict of interest. Thank you very much. If you don't have a conflict of interest, you're not doing the art world right. She's gonna have a show in 2018, so keep your eyes and ears open for that, a solo show. We'll be back right after this.